Hello students, in continuity of chapter 13, photosynthesis in higher plants, in this lecture we are going to discuss about C3 cycle, C4 cycle, photorespiration and various factors affecting the process of photosynthesis. In previous lecture we have discussed about light reaction related with photosynthesis in detail. So, it's time now to study about biosynthetic phase of photosynthesis process. As we know very well, products of light reaction like ATP, NADPH and oxygen, they are useful for this biosynthetic phase of photosynthesis process. As we know, for light reaction, presence of light is must, and that's why it is known as light reaction. Now, one question, can we say this biosynthetic phase as a dark reaction also? Just try to find out yourself, is it there or not? Okay. Now let's discuss about how these products of light reaction, they are useful for biosynthetic phase. As we know, CO2 is combined with H2O to produce CH2O, or we can say various type of sugars. It was of interest to scientists to find out how this reaction proceeds, or we can say what was the first product formed when CO2 is taken into a reaction or fixed. Just after World War II, amongst the several effects to put radioisotopes to beneficial use, the work of Melvin Kelvin is exemplary. Use of radioactive carbon-14 here is used by him in algal photosynthesis studies led to the discovery that the first CO2 fixation product was a 3-carbon organic acid here. He also contributed to working out the complete biosynthetic pathway, and that's why in honor of name of scientist it is also known as Kelvin cycle, or first carbon acceptor molecule, that is 3-carbon structure, and that's why it is also known as C3 cycle. The first product identified, that was 3-phosphoglyceric acid, or in short it is also known as PGA. Scientists also tried to know whether all plants have PGA as the first product of carbon fixation, or any other product was formed in other plants also. Various experiments conducted over a wide range of plants, it led to the discovery of another group of plants also, where the first stable product of CO2 fixation was again an organic acid, but one which had a 4-carbon atom in its structure. This acid was identified to be oxaloacetic acid. So 4-carbon structure, in short it is also known as OAA. So one more possibility is there. Since then, CO2 assimilation during photosynthesis was said to be of 2 main types. First, those plants in which the first product of CO2 fixation is a C3 acid, it's like PGA, it is known as C3 pathway. Second type, those plants which the first product was a C4 acid, it is like OAA or oxaloacetic acid, it is known as C4 pathway. So this way 2 groups of plants showed other associated characteristics that we are going to study in detail now. If we talk about this Kelvin cycle, C3 cycle, so we can study in detail by studying various phases of Kelvin cycle. Kelvin and his co-workers work out the whole pathway and showed that the pathway operated in a cyclic manner. The REBP was regenerated during this cycle. Now, how how the Calvin pathway operates and where the sugar is synthesized, that is important here. So for understanding this process, actually entire pathway of this C3 cycle or Calvin pathway actually which occurs in all photosynthetic plants. It doesn't matter whether they have C3 or C4 or any other mode of pathway. Okay, it is not like that. For our study conveniency, for our easy understanding, this C3 cycle or Calvin cycle is actually described in 3 stages. Which are these 3 stages? These are first carboxylation, second reduction, and third one regeneration. So there are 3 steps, 3 stages or phases of Calvin cycle or C3 cycle. Now let's study one by one in detail all steps. First, carboxylation. Carboxylation is a fixation of CO2 in a stable organic intermediate. Carboxylation is actually addition of CO2, carbon dioxide. It's the most crucial step of this cycle where CO2 is utilized for the carboxylation of RUBP, ribulose diphosphate. So one type of pentose sugar. This reaction is catalyzed by the enzyme known as RUBP carboxylase, which result in the formation of 2 molecules of 3-PGA. This enzyme also has an oxygenation activity. It would be more correct to say that RUBP carboxylase oxygenase, or also we can say in short this enzyme is known as Rubisco. So during this stage, carboxylation stage, such a type of activity take place where this enzyme Rubisco is involved and 2 molecules of 3-PGA they are formed. Second stage, that is reduction. Actually this is a series of reactions that lead to the formation of glucose. Steps involve utilization of 2 molecules of ATP for phosphorylation and 2 of NADPH for reduction per carbon dioxide molecule fixed. Fixation of 6 molecules of carbon dioxide and 6 turns of the cycle are required for the formation of 1 molecule of glucose from the pathway. This statement is very important. Fixation of 6 molecule of CO2 and 6 turns of the cycle they are required for the formation of only 1 molecule of glucose from this pathway. Third stage, that is regeneration. Regeneration of the CO2 acceptor molecule, that is RUBP here, is crucial if the cycle is to continue, that is without any disturbance. Regeneration steps require 1 ATP for phosphorylation to form RUBP. So this way C3 cycle, Calvin cycle, entire cycle is divided into 3 stages: carboxylation, reduction and regeneration phase. This figure gives clear idea about entire mechanism of Calvin cycle. All 3 phases, stages we can study here clearly. Carboxylation, you can see the addition of carbon dioxide to RUBP. Then 3-PGA is formed, clearly we can study here. Second phase, reduction, is also indicated here. Formation of sugar, sucrose, starch. And third and last phase, that is regeneration phase of Calvin cycle, also we can study here, where regeneration of this RUBP, ribulose 1,5-biphosphate, is formed again. So cycle can continue. So this way the entire mechanism of C3 cycle or Calvin cycle take place, which is divided into three stages like carboxylation, reduction and regeneration phase. Now let's try to calculate of input and output of Calvin cycle or C3 cycle. For every carbon dioxide molecule entering the Calvin cycle, 3 molecules of ATP and 2 molecules of NADPH are required. It is only for one carbon dioxide molecule. It is probable to meet this difference in number of ATP and NADPH used in the Dark reaction that the cyclic photophosphorylation take place. Now, to make 1 molecule of glucose, 6 turns of the cycle are required. So, can we calculate about ATP and NADPH molecules which are required for 1 molecule of glucose formation during entire Calvin cycle? Now, this might be helpful to understand all this if we look at input and output of entire cycle, entire mechanism. First, here 6 carbon dioxide molecules, they are utilized for formation of 1 molecule of glucose. Against it, output is 1 glucose. So when 6 carbon dioxide molecules are utilized, 1 molecule of glucose is formed. As an input, 18 ATP are utilized for entire process and output is 18 ADP. So we can easily understand now ATP is utilized, that's why it is converted into ADP. If we talk about NADPH here, okay, so input is 12 molecules of NADPH, against it the output is 12 molecules of NADP. So by studying this table, by calculating of input and output of entire Calvin cycle or C3 cycle, now calculation is clear in our mind. What about this? That is for formation of 1 molecule of glucose during C3 cycle or Calvin cycle, how many molecules of CO2, ATP and NADPH are required, and against this what is output of this cycle? Now easily we can understand. Now let's discuss another pathway, that is C4 pathway, or it is also known as H and Slack pathway. Plants that are adapted to dry tropical regions, they have C4 pathway. As you know that what is the meaning of C4 pathway here? These plants have the C4 oxaloacetic acid as the first carbon dioxide fixation product. They use the C3 pathway or the Calvin cycle as the main biosynthetic pathway. Then, in what way are they different from C3 plants? This is a question that we should ask, that what is the difference between this? C4 plants, they are actually special type of plants. They have a special type of leaf anatomy. They tolerate high temperature. They show a response to high light intensities. They make a process called photorespiration, and they have greater productivity of biomass comparatively. Okay. Now let's understand, let's discuss actually in detail what about C4 pathway. We can study the vertical section of leaf and we can understand the anatomy of C3 plants as well as C4 plants. Particularly large cells around the vascular bundles in C4 plant are called bundle sheath cells, and the leaves which have such anatomy, it is known as Kranz anatomy. So this special term is used here. Now what is meaning of Kranz anatomy? Kranz means wreath, and it's a reflection of the arrangement of cells. Bundle sheath cells may form several layers around the vascular bundles. They are characterized by having a large number of chloroplasts, thick walls impervious to gaseous exchange and no intercellular spaces. Now, when we cut the section of this type of leaf, C4 plant leaves like maize or sorghum, you can observe the Kranz anatomy and distribution of this type of mesophyll cells here. Now about entire pathway. Now as we know very well, the presence of bundle sheath is helpful to identify about the C4 plants. Now how does this entire pathway take place? It is giving the name in honor of scientist Hensley. That's also known as Hensley pathway, and again it's a one type of cyclic process. Here primary CO2 acceptor is 3 carbon molecule phosphoenol tyruvate. It is in short also known as PEP, PEP, and is present in the mesophyll cell. Enzyme responsible for this reaction fixation is PEP carboxylase, PEP carboxylase we can say, or in short it is also known as PEP case. It is important to mark that the mesophyll cells lack Rubisco enzyme. Mesophyll cells, they lack Rubisco enzyme. C4 acid OAA, that is oxaloacetic acid, is formed in the mesophyll cells. It then forms of other 4 carbon compound. It is like malic acid or aspartic acid in the mesophyll cell itself, which are transported to the bundle sheath cells. In the bundle sheath cells, the C4 acids are broken down to release CO2 and 3 carbon molecule. 3 carbon molecule is transported back to the mesophyll, where it is converted to PEP, phosphoenol pyruvate again, and thus cycle completes. So now we can understand C4 cycle, it also run in cyclic manner. CO2 released in the bundle sheath cell enters the C3 pathway or Calvin cycle. The pathway is common in all plants. Bundle sheath cells, here bundle sheath cells, they are rich in the enzyme Rubisco, that is a ribulose biphosphate carboxylase oxygenase, as we know Rubisco, but lack PEP case. Thus the basic pathway that result the formation of sugars, the Calvin pathway, is common to the C4 and C4 plants. So now we can understand that is the C3 pathway or Calvin cycle, which is required for formation of sugar as a product of photosynthesis in plant, that is common to the C3 and C4 plants both. The Calvin cycle pathway occurs in all mesophyll cells of C3 plants. The C4 plant, it does not take place in the mesophyll cells, but it does so only in the bundle sheath cell. So it is interesting to understand where the location of the both pathway take place and in which type of plants this C4 cycle and C3 cycle appears. Now let's study figure related with C4 pathway or H and SLAC pathway. In this figure, actually it's anatomy of C4 plant leaf. You can understand here two type of cells are there, mesophyll cells and bundle sheath cells. Various reaction involved during C4 cycle or H and SLAC pathway we can understand easily by studying this figure. You can see here in mesophyll cell atmospheric CO2 enters, tap is present, then fixation of CO2 take place, then 4 carbon structure oxaloacetic acid is formed, moves towards bundle sheath cell, transportation take place, C4 acid is formed, decarboxylation process take place, again C3 acid is formed, transported towards mesophilous cell, and when Calvin cycle run, as you know very well, here regeneration of RUBP take place, and again this pathway run in cyclic manner. So thus this way in plants, C4 plants, this type of C4 pathway or H and SLAC pathway is observed. Now let's discuss about photorespiration. Meaning of this term is important here. Photo, in presence of light, respiration, the mechanism of respiration. So well, in presence of light, the mechanism of respiration takes place, that is known as photorespiration. It is one additional process related with this photosynthesis process. It creates an important difference between C3 and C4 plant, and that is known as photorespiration. To understand the entire process of photorespiration, now knowledge is required that the first step of Calvin pathway, the first CO2 fixation step, that is the reaction where RUBP combines with CO2, as you know very well, and two molecules of 3-PGA are formed. The entire reaction is catalyzed by enzyme known as Rubisco. So for our understanding, we can say during this Calvin cycle, this step is RUBP plus CO2 in the presence of Rubisco, two molecules of 3-PGA are formed. Rubisco, that is the most abundant enzyme in the world. Again, that is important here. Rubisco is the most abundant enzyme in the world, is characterized by the fact that its active site can bind to both. It means CO2 and O2, and that's why its naming is given on the basis of both. Rubisco has a much greater affinity to CO2 when the CO2-O2 ratio is equal that of O2. Now, can we imagine that it would happen if this were not so, if it does not take place? This binding is competitive. It is the relative concentration of O2 and CO2 that determines which of the two will bind to the enzyme. That is interesting here. In C3 plants, some O2 does bind to Rubisco, and hence CO2 fixation is decreased. Here the RUBP, instead of being converted to a 2 molecule of PGA, binds with O2 to form 1 molecule of phosphoglycerate, and this in pathway that is called photorespiration pathway. In this pathway, photorespiratory pathway, there is neither synthesis of sugar nor of ATP. It is interesting here. Here no sugar is formed, no ATP is formed. Rather, it results in the release of carbon dioxide with the utilization of ATP. In the phosphoratory pathway, there is no synthesis of ATP or NADPH take place. And the biological function of this pathway, photorespiration, is not known yet. In C4 plants, photorespiration does not occur. This is because they have a mechanism that increases the concentration of CO2 at the enzyme site. This takes place when the C4 acid from the mesophyll cell broken down in the bundle sheath cell to release CO2. This results in increasing the intracellular concentration of carbon dioxide. In turn, this ensures that the Rubisco functions as a carboxylase, minimizing the oxygenase activity. Now, you know that the C4 plants lack photorespiration. It does not take place in C1 plants. So, now we can understand why productivity and yields are better in this plant. Comparatively, productivity of this is higher. Okay. In addition, these plants show tolerance to high temperature also. This pathway involves chloroplast, paroxysm and mitochondria also. So, such a way photorespiration, this entire mechanism not take place in C4 plants. Now you have a clear idea about C3 cycle, C4 cycle and about C3 plants and C4 plants. Now let's compare both C3 plants and C4 plants. First one, C3 plants, the leaves do not have Kranz anatomy. As you know very well, what is Kranz anatomy? It is observed in C4 plant leaves. Kranz anatomy is observed in C4 plants. In C3 plants, photorespiration occurs, but in C4 plant, photorespiration it doesn't occur, as we have studied here also. Third point, Rubisco. This enzyme is the first acceptor of CO2 in C3 plants. In C4 plants, PEP, phosphoenol pyruvate, is the first acceptor of CO2. Fourth point, in C3 plants, PGA is the first stable product. If you compare with C4 plants, here first stable product is 4-carbon substance, that is OAA, oxaloacetic acid. Fifth point, in C3 plants, plants are adapted to all climates, but in C4 plants, plants are adapted to tropical climate. In C3 plants, mesophyll cells perform complete photosynthesis, but in C4 plants, mesophyll cells perform only initial fixation of carbon dioxide. After that, it passes through C3 cycle and sugar formation take place. So, we can say there is a difference between C3 and C4 plants. Now, we can easily understand these are comparative points or differences between C3 plants and C4 plants. Factors affecting photosynthesis process. Factors that affect photosynthesis is necessary to understand about this. The rate of photosynthesis is very important in determining the yield or product of plants, including crop plants. Photosynthesis is under the influence of several factors, both internal and external. Plant factors include the number, size, age and orientation of leaves, mesophyll cells and chloroplast. In internal, CO2 concentration as well as amount of chlorophyll. Plant or internal factors are dependent on the genetic predisposition and the growth of the plant. Some external factors would include the availability of sunlight, temperature, CO2 concentration and water. To study these factors, that is important to understand this process. As a plant photosynthesis, all these factors will simultaneously affect the rate of photosynthesis. So, several factors interact and affect the photosynthesis or CO2 fixation. Usually, one factor is the major cause or is the one that limit the rate. So this way the factors, they are actually responsible affecting the photosynthesis process. It is important to study about this. So now let's understand one by one factors affecting the mechanism of photosynthesis. First, light. As we know, light is must for photosynthesis process. Light, it means light quality, light intensity and the duration of light availability. When we discuss light as a factor affecting photosynthesis, it is important to study this. There is a linear relationship between incident light and CO2 fixation rate at low light intensities. At higher light intensity, gradually the rate does not show further increase as other factors become limiting factor. Now interesting that the light saturation occur at 10% of full sunlight. So except for plants in shade or in dense forest, light is rarely a limiting factor in nature, we can say. Increase in incident light beyond a point causes the breakdown of chlorophyll and decrease of photosynthesis process. So this way light is an important factor for entire mechanism of photosynthesis. Second factor, that is carbon dioxide concentration, CO2 concentration. Carbon dioxide is the major limiting factor for photosynthesis mechanism. Concentration of CO2 is very low in the atmosphere. We can say it's approximately about 0.03 and 0.04 percentage. So very little amount is available here. Increase in concentration up to 0.05% can cause an increase in CO2 fixation rates. Beyond this, the levels cannot become damaging over longer periods also. C3 and C4 plants respond differently to CO2 concentration. At low light conditions, neither group responds to high CO2 condition. At high light intensity, both C3 and C4 plants show increase in the rate of photosynthesis. But the availability of CO2 level is actually a limiting factor to C3 plants. The fact is that the C3 plants respond to higher CO2 concentration by showing increase the rate of photosynthesis, leading to higher productivity. So we can say higher CO2 concentration at that time in C3 plants, the productivity is also higher. This higher productivity has been used for some greenhouse crops such as tomatoes and bell pepper. They are allowed to grow in carbon dioxide enriched atmosphere that leads to higher yields. So carbon dioxide concentration is one of the important factors affecting mechanism of photosynthesis. Third factor, temperature. Diet reactions being enzymatic are temperature controlled. Though the light reactions are also temperature sensitive, they are affected to a much lesser extent. In C4 plants respond to higher temperature and show higher rate of photosynthesis, while in C3 plants they have a much lower temperature optimum. The temperature optimum for photosynthesis or different plants also depends on the habitat that they are adapted to. Tropical plants, they have a higher temperature optimum than the plants adapted to temperate climate. This way, temperature is also one of the factors affecting the process of photosynthesis. Fourth factor, that is water. Water is one of the reactant in the light reaction. As we know very well, the effect of water as a factor is more through its effect on the plant rather than directly on photosynthesis process. Water stress causes the stomata to close, hence reducing the CO2 availability. Besides, water stress also makes leaves wilt thus reducing the surface area of the leaves and their metabolic activity also. This way water can affect the process of photosynthesis. So these are main 4 factors affecting photosynthesis process. It's like light, carbon dioxide concentration, temperature and water. Now let's discuss about Blackman's law of limiting factors. When several factors affect any chemical process or biochemical process, the Blackman's law of limiting factor comes into effect. If we talk about the statement proposed as a law of Blackman's limiting factor, it is like that: if a chemical process is affected by more than one factors, then its rate will be determined by the factor which is nearest to its minimal value. It is the factor which directly affects the process if its quantity is changed. This statement is very important during study of various factors. For example, despite the presence of a green leaf and optimal light and CO2 condition, the plant may not photosynthesize if the temperature is very low. This leaf, if given the optimal temperature, it will start photosynthesis process. So this way, for study of various factors affecting the mechanism of photosynthesis also, this is important to study about Blackman's law of limiting factors.